Imagine digging through an old jar of dirty, forgotten pennies, and suddenly realizing one of them could make you a millionaire. Some of the oldest, rustiest, most ordinary-looking pennies hiding in your pocket change or stuck in an attic box are worth millions of dollars today. These coins may look worn, stained, or completely unimportant, but collectors are paying life-changing money for the rare ones. In this video, I'll reveal the most valuable old and dirty pennies that could be sitting right under your nose. You're searching through an old jar of coins, maybe something your grandfather left behind, maybe something you found in a dusty drawer, and suddenly, one small copper penny catches your eye. It looks normal. It looks simple. It looks like something worth just 1 cent. But what if I told you that this tiny coin, a 1960 D Lincoln penny, could secretly be worth tens of thousands or even millions of dollars? This one year, this one mint mark, and this one design contains some of the rarest and most valuable penny varieties ever discovered in American coin history. Today, you are about to learn the full history, the hidden secrets, the rare varieties, and the shocking auction values of the 1960 D Lincoln penny, a year that changed American coinage, a year full of mistakes, redesigns, double dies, RPM errors, and one of the most legendary varieties ever created. The year was 1960. America was changing rapidly. New technology, new culture, new leadership, new industries, and even the coinage system was evolving. The U.S. Mint was dealing with massive coin shortages as people hoarded change due to rising silver prices. To keep up with demand, the Denver Mint, D-Mint, struck billions of pennies. But something unique happened this year, something that created massive confusion, production chaos, and accidental errors that today make the 1960 D penny one of the most collectible coins of the 20th century. Why the 1960 D penny is so special? Unlike other years with just one major variety, 1960 D has several rare types, including 1960 D small date 1960, D large date 1960, D over D, D/D. RPM error double die obverse errors double die reverse errors die. Adjustment strike errors off center strikes broad strikes misaligned die errors struck through grease errors. Some of these are common. Some are scarce, but a few are unbelievably rare, with only a handful known. These are the pennies that can sell for $5,000, $10,000, $20,000, and even higher. One record-breaking example has sold for $20,700, and specialists believe the highest-grade specimens could one day pass $100,000. 1960. D small date over large date. D/D RPM plus date over date. This is a dramatic error where the Denver Mint accidentally stamped one date over another. Worth $500 in circulated condition, worth $1,000 to $3,000 in mid-grade, worth $10,000 plus in high mint state, worth $20,000 plus in MS67 RD, potentially six figures if an MS68 RD is ever discovered. Rare 1960 D double die VAS. Even though not as popular as the 1955 or 1972 double dies, the 1960 D double dies can still be extremely valuable. $3,000 to $10,000. For dramatic examples, some rare double die examples are extremely limited and seldom found. 1960 D RPM errors. RE punched mint mark this year is famous for RPM errors. $8,000 to $15,000 in MS67 RD. If an MS68 RD appears, some experts say it could hit $50,000 to $100,000 and potentially cross into million-dollar level if unique major strike errors on 1960 D pennies. 1960 D pennies had billions minted, and because of the rush, many dramatic mistakes occurred. Wrong planchet errors. Example struck on foreign or dime planchets worth $3,000 to $10,000 plus comma collision. How to identify a rare 1960 D penny? I tell your viewers to check date size, small or large, mint mark, doubled or repunched, doubling on letters, sharpness of strike, copper color grade, brown, brown, or red, any unusual misstrike. Always send valuable ones to PCGS or NGC for grading, because a coin graded as MS66 RD or MS67 RD could sell for life-changing amounts of money. Why these pennies could hit million-dollar values in the FEA? There are three reasons. Modern coins are gaining collector interest. Top collectors are now looking for high-quality modern errors. 1960 D varieties are insanely rare at high grade. A perfect MS68 RD would be the only one known. Increasing demand for dramatic errors. YouTube, TikTok, and social media are making these varieties famous, pushing prices higher. This combination could absolutely push the rarest 1960 D pennies into six-figure or seven-figure territory someday. Imagine finding a coin so mysterious, so unbelievably rare, that even expert collectors tremble when they hear its name. A coin that was never meant to exist, a coin that the US Mint has no official record of creating, a coin that looks ordinary but hides a secret so powerful that just one example has sold for over $20,000, $30,000, and potentially even higher today. Today, we are diving deep into the 1964 SMS Lincoln penny, a coin so rare that only a few pieces are known to exist on this entire planet. So buckle up, because the story you're about to hear is shocking, historical, confusing, exciting, and full of massive money values that will keep you hooked until the last second. The United States Mint produced billions of regular 1964 Lincoln pennies. They are everywhere. They look normal. They are made of 95% copper. They were minted because Americans were hoarding coins due to the coin shortage of the 1960s. But among these billions of ordinary coins, there exists a tiny group, fewer than 20 known coins, that are unlike anything the Mint ever officially admitted to making. These are the 1964 SMS Special Mint Set Lincoln pennies. The U.S. Mint never released SMS sets in 1964. They officially started SMS production in 1965. That is, oh, how in the world do 1964 SMS coins even exist? This is where the mystery becomes legendary. Numismatists and experts have debated the origin of these coins for decades. Some believe they were special test strikes for the 1965 SMS rollout. Others believe they were experimental pieces created by Mint director Eve Adams during the coin shortage. And some experts believe these coins were never meant to leave the Mint, but were secretly kept by insiders and later discovered. The mystery makes this coin extremely valuable. Collectors love rarity, but they pay insane money for rarity mixed with a historic mystery. What is an SMS coin and why is it special? SMS equals Special Mint Set. These coins are not proof coins and not business strike coins. They are a unique hybrid. Sharper details than regular coin, stronger strike, satin-like, smooth surfaces, no mirror-like, proof, finish, very high production quality. The 1964 SMS Lincoln penny shows all of these characteristics. Sharper, squared rims, needle-sharp details on Lincoln's hair and beard, satin finish on both sides, strong strike, with no weakness, die polish lines visible. Under light, perfectly centered strike, almost no bag marks. This is what makes it different from the billions of regular 1964 pennies. The moment a collector sees the strong strike, the smooth satin surfaces, and the crisp edges, they instantly know this is not a normal penny. Identifying a real 1964 SMS penny, not mirror-like, not dull, smooth, silky, and even. Details on Lincoln's beard and hair are razor-sharp, strong, squared off, flat rims, not soft or rounded. Visible under light, especially around Lincoln's portrait. This is a key difference from regular circulation coins. Specially prepared planchets were used. PCGS and NGC label them as SMS. If your 1964 penny does not show these features, it is not an SMS. But if even a few match, they must get it authenticated because the value is massive. Shocking real auction prices. 1964 SMS Lincoln penny sold $4.11. 500 fire. 1964 SMS Lincoln penny sold $4.13. 200 fire. 1964 SMS Lincoln penny sold $4.14. 100 fire. 1964 SMS Lincoln penny sold for over $20. 000. The finest example graded PCGS SP68 red has sold for white medium star over $30,000 USD. Experts believe that if a new highest grade example ever appears, the price could explode to glowing star $50, 000, $75, 000, or even $100, 000 plus. And some numismatists predict that if a new specimen with exceptional quality is discovered, or if the old mystery is solved, the price could one day reach collision, hundreds of thousands of dollars collision, or even the $1 million category. Yes, the $1 million estimate is not a joke. Coins far less rare have already hit that number. Why this coin could reach $1 million with ultra-low population. 20 coins equals museum rarity. Historical mystery collectors love a story. This coin is one of the strongest stories in U.S. coin history. High demand from elite collectors. Top collectors pay massive amounts for unique pieces. A coin like this is not just a collectible, it's an investment asset. Imagine holding a penny that looks completely ordinary. A simple brown coin from 1967 that might be lying in your old drawer, coin jar, or in a collection someone passed down to you. Now imagine that same penny turning out to be worth tens of thousands, or even millions of dollars. But what if I told you that the 1967 Lincoln penny is hiding some of the rarest errors, mysterious varieties, and high-value gems that most collectors have never even seen? What if I told you that a single 1967 penny, yes, the same penny most people ignore, some known errors are so rare that experts believe they could reach six figures, or even push into the million-dollar category if the perfect specimen is discovered? So stay until the very end, because the last pennies we talk about are the ones that can bring life-changing money. The year 1967 wasn't a normal year for the U.S. Mint. It was the peak of a national coin shortage. People were hoarding coins because silver prices were rising. The mint was under enormous pressure to produce billions of coins, fast. Everything was minted without identification to discourage hoarding and to simplify production. But with the mint rushing out coins as fast as possible, errors were bound to happen. And 1967 produced some of the most dramatic and rare Lincoln penny errors ever struck. But because so many were made under fast, high-pressure conditions, dozens of rare varieties and errors slipped through, many of which are now extremely valuable. Why the 1967 penny can be worth big and why there are three main reasons. The mint was rushing. More rush equals more mistakes. No mint marks. This created confusion, multiple die varieties, and misidentified production batches. Collectors ignored this year. People didn't collect 1967 pennies, so high-grade survivors are extremely rare. 1967 double die obverse, DDO. Extremely rare. This is one of the most important 1960s DDOs. MS67 red. $20,000 to $50,000. Potential if a perfect MS68 red is discovered someday. Glowing star, it could hit $100,000 or even $1,000,000 plus, because no such example currently exists. 1967 double die reverse, DDR. Rare MS66 examples can reach $10,000 plus. 1967 high-grade and mint mark penny, MS67. MS68 red. Even without errors, a 1967 penny in perfect condition is very rare. This is because people didn't save 1967 coins. Copper easily scratches. No mint sets were produced. Most coins were heavily circulated, so a perfect 1967 penny is like a miracle. If MS68 red appears, could hit $20,000 to $50,000. A unique MS69 RD could be a six-figure or million-dollar coin. 1967 OFF Center STRS off. Center pennies from the 1960s are collectible, but 1967 off centers with a full date are especially valuable. With full date visible, $1, 500 plus. A perfect large off center 1967 penny could hit several thousand at auction. 1967 double strike, or some 1967 pennies were struck twice, sometimes rotated, sometimes overlapping. Dramatic examples can hit $5,000 plus. 1967 wrong planchet errors. Extremely rare, rare foreign planchet errors. $20,000 plus. Unique examples, six-figure potential. These are the types of coins that can shock collectors and bring huge bidding wars. Experts believe this is nothing compared to what could happen if an MS68 red or MS69 red 1967 penny is ever found. Glowing star, it could easily bring $100,000 or even $1 million if unique heavy checkmark copper coins, heavy checkmark high-grade survivors, heavy checkmark low survival rates, heavy checkmark no mint mark, transitional years. Meaning, the perfect 1967 penny could be one of the highest value modern pennies ever sold. Why 1967 penny errors are so? Three reasons. Rushing caused rare mistakes. In 1967, the mint was pushing billions of coins, leading to more doubling, more die cracks, more misstrikes, more wrong planchet errors. These are now extremely collectible. No mint sets were produced from 1965 to 1967. The mint replaced proof sets and mint sets with the less popular special mint sets, SMS. But 1967 SMS pennies are common, while circulation-grade 1967 pennies in high quality are rare. People ignored this year. Collectors didn't save 1967 pennies. Most went into piggy banks, pockets, vending machine circulation for decades. This means nearly all 1967 pennies suffered wear scratches, color fading, making high-grade survivors extremely scarce. How to identify a valuable 1967 penny? Strong doubling, crisp lettering, sharp strike, full date on off-center errors, strong red color, clean surfaces, any dramatic visual error, wrong planchet weight, and always send valuable fines to PCGS or NGC for authentication and grading, but a low-grade error might be worth $50. But the same coin in MS66 or MS67 red might be worth $5,000 plus. Section 9. Could a 1967 penny reach $1 million? No MS68 red or MS69 red, yet found massive collector demand for perfect copper coins, extremely low survival rate, dramatic mint errors from the era, high-value auction trends for rare pennies. So, if a unique MS68 plus red massive double die rare wrong planchet strike ever appears, the bidding war could push it into 6 figures or even 7 figures. Imagine you're holding a penny that looks absolutely normal. A little worn, a little brown, maybe something you pulled from pocket change or found inside an old jar in your home. Now imagine that very same penny turning out to be tens of thousands, or even millions of dollars. One of the most mysterious, valuable, and shocking coins in American history is hidden in the year 1969, a year that produced one of the greatest mint errors ever discovered. A coin so rare, so extraordinary, that only a handful exist, and one single example sold for more than $100,000. Another example reached an astonishing $126,500, and experts believe a perfect specimen could blast into the million-dollar category because the next rare penny someone finds could be worth more money than a luxury house. The year was 1969. The United States Mint in San Francisco's Mint Mark was producing billions of pennies. The country was modernizing, the Vietnam War was still ongoing, and the mint was transitioning from older dies to new engraving technologies. But 1969 wasn't just another year. It became the year that produced one of the most legendary double die pennies in history, a coin so rare that collectors around the world consider it one of the holy grails of U.S. coinage. But before we talk about that monster penny, you need to understand the background. Heavy Checkmark the Mint was updating its die engraving process. Heavy Checkmark new die hubbing procedures were being tested. Heavy Checkmark dies were being punched multiple times. Heavy Checkmark some dies shifted during production, and when that happens, backhand index pointing right, massive doubling errors can be created. This is exactly what happened with the 1969 Lincoln Cent, but because the doubling was so extreme, something crazy happened. Warning: the Secret Service thought they were counterfeits. Warning: they confiscated and destroyed many. Warning: many people were afraid to show their coins. This alone makes 1969 double dies extremely rare today. Values of the 1969 double die VF condition: $25,000 to $50,000, XF condition, $60,000 plus, AU condition, $75,000 to $90,000 plus, MS63, $100,000 to $150,000, MS64, $150,000 to $250,000, MS65, $350,000 plus, MS66, $500,000 to $800,000, MS67. If ever found, could hit $1 million plus. A perfect MS68 1969 double die would absolutely sell for millions. This is one of the few modern pennies with true million-dollar potential. 1969 wrong planchet errors, $1,000 to $10,000 plus. Unique examples could reach $20,000 to $50,000. High-grade 1969 pennies without errors are also valuably. A perfect 1969 penny, even normal, is very rare. MS68 yet to be discovered, $10,000 to $25,000 plus. This is without any errors. The most expensive 1969 penny ever. You must include this for viewer excitement. White medium star, the 1969 double die obverse, sold for $126,500 at public auction. How to identify a real 1969 double die? Tell viewers exactly what to look for. Heavy checkmark, strong doubling on Liberty. Heavy checkmark, heavy doubling on Ian God We Trust. Heavy checkmark, clear doubling on the date. Heavy checkmark, doubling on Lincoln's portrait edges. Heavy checkmark, strong separation between letters, and most important, magnifying glass tilted left. Check that the mint mark S is not doubled. If the S is doubled, it's faked. That if the S is normal, it could be real. This is because the mint mark was added after the doubling process, meaning authentic double dies never show a doubled mint mark. Imagine opening your old piggy bank, your father's old coin box, or a dusty jar of pennies hiding in your kitchen drawer. And there it is, a simple 1981 Lincoln penny. A coin you've probably walked past 1,000 times. A coin you've probably never looked twice at. But what if I told you that some 1981 pennies are secretly worth hundreds, thousands, and even hundreds of thousands of dollars? And in some extreme rare cases, certain unique errors can reach six-figure or even million-dollar price levels if discovered in pristine condition. Yes, this ordinary brown penny could turn into a life-changing treasure. Heavy checkmark: the shocking rare varieties hiding inside the 1981 penny, the errors that transform a 1-cent coin into a fortune, the record prices collectors have paid, why this penny is special even though billions were minted, and how you can quickly check your coins to see if you're holding one of the rarest examples ever found. So sit tight, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly which 1981 penny could make you rich, and which ones could be hiding in your home right now. Let's dive into the world of rare big money Lincoln pennies. The year 1981 marks the end of an era in U.S. coinage. It was the last full year the U.S. Mint produced the 95% copper Lincoln pennies before switching permanently to the lighter zinc cents in mid-1982. Even though billions were minted, there are 3 reasons certain 1981 pennies are incredibly valuable. High-grade rarities coins graded MS-67. MS-68 or higher are extremely rare. Collectors pay huge premiums because very few exist in such perfect condition. Proof variety, Type 2S mint mark. This single variety alone has sold for over $2,000 plus. Rare mint errors, off-metal strikes, double dies, broad strikes, and other errors can push values into, and in the most extreme cases, $50,000 to $100,000 plus, or higher value of the 1981 S-Type 2 PR 69 DCM, $600 to $2,000 PR 70 DCM. $10,000 plus in some auctions. An extreme top pop could potentially reach $25,000 or more. This alone makes the 1981 penny collectible and valuable. 1981D rare, high-grade penny. Denver pennies usually come scratched or weakly struck. Finding one graded MS-67 or MS-68 is extremely difficult. A theoretical MS-69, if found, could reach $20,000 to $50,000 at auction. 1981 Philadelphia rare high-grade penny. Philadelphia coins have slightly better strike quality than Denver, but still rarely reach MS-68 plus. Top pop MS-69 could cross $25,000 to $75,000 if one appears. If a 1981 penny was accidentally struck on a dime planchet, foreign coin, or experimental metal, its value skyrockets. Copper penny struck on dime planchet, $5,000 to $15,000 struck on experimental test planchet, $25,000 to $75,000 unique or extremely high-grade off-metal, $100,000 plus to potentially $250,000 plus, a once-in-a-lifetime find. Double die obverse, DDO, extremely strong plus high-grade, $3,000 to $10,000 plus, 1981 penny values by type MS-69. If discovered, $25,000 to $75,000 plus, MS-69. Potential top pop, $20,000 to $50,000 plus, PR 70 DCM, $10,000 plus. Perfect top pop potential, $20,000 to $25,000 plus. How to check your 1981 penny for value? Check the mint mark. Is it no mint mark? Philadelphia, D, Denver, S, San Francisco. If S, check if type 2 clear. S. Check condition, use bright light and magnification. Ask yourself, is it shiny? Does it have scratches? Are there spots? Is the strike sharp? Higher condition equals higher value. Look for errors, use a magnifier. 10x recommended. Look for doubling clips, off center strike, die breaks, missing letters, extra metal. These can multiply the value dramatically. Why 1981 pennies are treasure for FNRS collectors. Love 1981 pennies because they are the last full year of copper pennies. They contain rare mint errors. The Type 2S proof is a modern key date. High-grade coins are extremely hard to find. New discoveries still appear in pocket change. This creates endless excitement for new collectors and experts alike. What if I told you that one of the most ordinary, most ignored, and most common-looking pennies in America, a penny you've probably spent hundreds of times without ever noticing? Today we're talking about the 1982 D small date Lincoln penny. A coin so mysterious, so misunderstood, and so shockingly valuable in the rarest forms that it has become one of the most hunted U.S. pennies of all time, and one legendary penny that sold for over $18,000 in graded form, with rumors and expectations of six-figure and even million-dollar valuations if more discovery coins are found. Today, you're going to find out why the 1982 D small date is rare, which versions are valuable, what errors make it worth big money, how to identify your coin, and how a coin worth just 1 cent can turn into a life-changing treasure. So sit tight, because if you stay with me to the end, you'll learn exactly how to spot the most valuable 1982 D small date penny that could make you rich. The year 1982 is one of the most important years in the entire Lincoln Penny series. 97.5% zinc-coated, with a thin copper layer, much cheaper. This sudden transformation cost heavy checkmark, multiple designs, heavy checkmark, multiple mint marks, heavy checkmark, multiple metal types, heavy checkmark, multiple date sizes, heavy checkmark, tons of mint errors. So, instead of one penny design, the year 1982 produced one of the most chaotic and collectible sets of coins in modern American history. There are 7 main varieties: 1982 large date, copper 1982 small date, copper 1982 large date, zinc 1982 small date, zinc 1982, D large date, copper 1982, D large date, zinc 1982, D small date, zinc. This is the key variety. White medium star, the impossible coin 1982, D small date, copper planchet, wrong metal. Only one confirmed specimen exists. It sold $4.18,000 plus. Experts believe more could exist. Some might be sitting unnoticed in collections, and a perfect high-grade copper small date 1982 D could reach $100,000 to $1,000,000 plus. That is why collectors around the world are obsessed with this coin. Why the 1982 D small date is so important. Denver Mint never produced a small date copper penny intentionally in 1982, yet a mistake happened. 1 copper planchet slipped through. That made the 1982 D small date copper a legendary key rarity. Meanwhile, the 1982 D small date zinc is also collectible because high-grade examples are extremely rare and sell for big money. Magnifying glass tilted left. How to identify the small date. Look at the number 2 in 1982 small date characteristics. The 2 is thinner, the loop of the 2 is smaller, the top of the 2 is straight and sharp, the date looks taller and more delicate, the 8 is more round. Look at Liberty. Weakly struck on small date coins, especially the B and E. Once you know the difference, the small date is obvious. This is the normal metal version, but in high grade it becomes valuable. MS 69 could sell $10,000 to $30,000 plus. 1982 D small date copper, the $1 million penny. This coin was not meant to exist. Denver was only making large date copper and small date zinc pennies. Yet a copper small date got struck by accident. It sold $4.18,000 plus. Experts say a perfect MS 67 or MS 68 could exceed $100,000 to $500,000. A discovery in proof-like condition could reach $1 million plus. Imagine finding the second known specimen. You become part of U.S. coin history instantly. Sparkler 1982 D small date rare errors, big money. This is where the 1982 pennies explode in value. Off-metal errors, struck on wrong planchet. These are the most valuable. Normal off-metal strike, $5,000 to $15,000. Rare metal planchets, $25,000 to $50,000. Unique errors, $50,000 to $150,000 plus. Perfect high grade, $250,000 to $1 million. Double die obverse. DDO, strong doubling, $1,000 to $3,000 plus. How to check your 1982 D pain and white. Check the date shape, small date versus large date. Check metal type, very important. Weigh the coin. Copper equals 3.11 grams, zinc equals 2.5 grams. If you find a 1982 D small date weighing 3.11 grams, you may have. Why this penny is so legendary. Collectors consider the 1982 pennies the modern 1909 S VDB because they mark a major U.S. mint metal transition. They contain rare intentional and unintentional varieties. Errors are extremely valuable. Only one 1982 D small date copper exists. Many believe more will surface. This makes it one of the best investments and most exciting hunts in modern U.S. coin collecting. You're digging through an old jar of pennies, maybe your father's old collection, maybe pocket change left in a drawer for years. You expect nothing more than a handful of dirty old cents. But suddenly, one penny catches your eye. A simple, brown, forgotten 1983 D. Lincoln penny. This ordinary-looking coin from 1983 has some of the most exciting and valuable error varieties in modern U.S. history. There are 1983 D pennies out there worth just 1 cent. So stay with me till the end, because today we are diving deep into Fire, the history of the rare 1983 D. Lincoln penny. Fire, why 1983 pennies are famous for extreme errors. Fire, how a small date style affects value. Fire, why some 1983 D pennies can be worth life-changing money. Fire, and how you can identify the next six-figure treasure hiding in your change. To understand why the 1983 D penny is so important, we must go back to 1982. In 1982, the U.S. Mint completely changed the composition of the penny. Before 1982, 95% copper weight, 3.11 G. After mid 1982, 97.5% zinc with copper plating weight, 2.5 G. That's why 1983 pennies, including the 1983 D, have some of the most dramatic and valuable errors ever discovered. Why the 1983 D penny is so special. The 1983 and 1983 D pennies hold some of the rarest modern errors with values reaching into the hundreds of thousands. 1983 copper penny, transition error. This is the most famous and valuable. Explanation: 1983 pennies were supposed to be zinc only, but a few leftover 3.11 G copper planchets from 1982 entered the presses. A 1983, no mint mark, copper penny sold $4.15,000 plus. Experts believe a 1983 D copper penny could sell for $30,000 to $100,000 depending on condition. If you find a 1983 D penny that weighs 3.11 grams, it's potentially worth six figures. Fire, 1983 D double die reverse, DDR, $1,000 to $4,000 in high. Mint stayed up to $7,000 plus for MS 67R. This error is extremely valuable and still discovered in circulation today. 1983 D off metal strikes, major money, $10,000 to $50,000 plus, depending on the metal and grade. Collectors pay a fortune because these errors are nearly impossible to fake and extremely rare. 1983 D broad strikes, off centers and die breaks, $1,000 to $5,000. Small date versus large date. Does it matter in 1983? 1983 pennies are officially struck in only one date style. No official small date exists. Like in 1982, some experts have reported subtle hub variations on 1983 D that appear small date-like, particularly in early die stages. These experimental date punches may become new listed varieties in the future. High-value collectibles, potential discoveries worth thousands. Collectors are paying attention because new varieties are still being discovered in 1983 pennies. Value breakdown of 1983 D pennyisms. 68. Extremely rare, $5,000 to $10,000. 1983 D copper penny. 3.11 G. Extremely rare, worth $30,000 to $100,000, possibly $250,000 plus if MS 67 or higher. A new discovery could break auction records. 1983 DDR double die reverse. MS 67. $5,000 to $7,000 plus. 1983 D struck on wrong planchet, 3G copper, $15,000 plus. Dime planchet, $10,000 to $30,000. Foreign bronze, $20,000 to $50,000. Extreme die breaks, off centers. Broad strikes, $200 to $5,000 depending on severity and grade. How to identify a rare 1983 D penny. Check the weight. Use a digital scale. 0.01 G accuracy. 2.5 G equals normal zinc. 3.11 G equals copper. Rare plus extremely valuable. Check the reverse for doubling. Look at 1 cent. United States of America, pluribus unum. If letters appear, double big money. Check for off-center or broad strike. Any dramatic misstrike increases value. Inspect the surface.